Over the past few weeks, I put over 26 miles in these Oak Street Bootmaker cap-toe trench boots. Come along for the journey. This is gonna be a good one. Today we're talking about a boot that has several components I've never had before, and I'll tell you quite frankly, that's kind of surprising considering how big my boot collection is. This is the Oak Street Bootmakers cap-toe trench boot in natural chrome XL. Now guys, 3 things this boot has that I haven't had before. First is Oak Street Bootmakers. You guys love them. I know all about them. I've been eyeing them for some time, and it's long past due to get some. And then it's that natural chrome XL leather. Now I don't have any chrome XL, and that is the quintessential boot leather. I got the natural so we can see how it patinas, and then it's that day-night outsole. Now Thursday Boot Company has taken their stab at these, so I have one similar, but this is the original British day-night outsole. Now let me tell you right off the bat, these boots cost like $498 at the time of filming. I did buy these myself, so that's gonna tell you that I definitely have some skin in the game. I'm involved in this one, guys, so let's get into it. Well, I got the first mile down on these boots and I love them. I decided I'd come over here to the Texas A&M College campus. There's lots of these concrete paths, so I'm not getting the boots scuffed or anything like that. I went ahead and did a mile. I think that's a great tip for trying to break in boots. Next time I'll probably do 2 to 3 miles. Guys, it's like 89 degrees out here, so I'm sweating a bit. We're getting out, moving and grooving, getting that leather worked in. I did want to let you know that I went ahead and waterproof treated them. That way, if I'm out here, you saw me crossing water, if the sprinklers come on, something like that, you know, they're protected. They come conditioned out of the box, but you can go ahead and waterproof spray them as well. So I'll catch you in the next update. Well, friends, made our way out of College Station over to Somerville State Park, did some hiking trails over there, putting in the miles on these boots, and now we are over at Huntsville State Park, did some trails yesterday, and we're gonna hit up some more. Guys, hang with me after this little adventure because I'm gonna talk about the sizing and fit from Oak Street Bootmakers. So I just finished up another walk over here at Huntsville State Park. That's putting me up to over 7 miles in these boots so far, and they are holding up great. So I'm out there kicking around on some of these trails. I am gonna do my best to try to keep these as nice dress boots, but they're definitely everyday boots. So these trails are pretty nice. There's a few sticks and stumps that you could trip on. So I'm being extra careful, but so far no scuffs yet. Happy about that. So checking the website, right now they actually have these boots and ranging from size 7 up to 13 with several half sizes. Guys, a little bit about the fit in these boots. They use what's called the Easton last, and the Easton last is their Chicago last, and it's made for their everyday boots. So you can rest assured that it's supposed to fit basically any foot is what they're saying. So that's gonna give you a bit of confidence when you're ordering this boot that you don't have to think too much about the last. What they do is they give you a little extra room in the toe box. And I think I can not only feel that so far when I have the boot on, but you can kind of see that. It's a little bit bulkier. It's not a really ultra slender, low profile toe box, and it's just a good fit. So for me, I went with size 11.5 on a Brannick device. My left foot is right at a 12. My right is at 11.75. Now, of course, that's always made it strange for me, but that's not uncommon. I'm sure most of us have slightly varying foot sizes. So that puts me at sizing half a size down in these boots. Sometimes I'll size a full size down, maybe go down to an 11. You know, with my Red Wings, a lot of my boots are size 11. Some of my whites, Nicks, one pair of my Franks are 11. But then I'll have some 11.5 as well. Due to my traveling and what I got going on, trying to get these videos out quickly, I didn't want to think about shipping them back and forth. So I kind of defaulted to 11.5 because I knew it would fit and probably work really good for me. After wearing them, I think I could go half a size down and I'd still be pretty good. I could essentially size a full size down. You know, I'm wearing some wool socks and they're not ultra thick. So for me, that half a size is certainly plenty of room. I don't have anything rubbing, anything going on weird in there. That's working for me. Make sure and ask any questions if you have any, and I'll get to each and every one of those. Well, friends, now we're gonna talk about the build quality and the construction, a little bit about the company. We're up here in Oklahoma at Lake Murray State Park. I've put in over 24 miles in these boots so far, and it's going very well. Now, I like to do these reviews as if I'm wearing the boots. So you look down, and the first thing you're gonna notice is these natural leather laces. They're ran through 6 antique brass eyelets and 2 speed hooks. This, for me, is a perfect setup, and they must have listened to you guys because enough people complained where there used to be eyelets all the way to the top, and now they're gonna just have 2 speed hooks. For me, I can just run and gun and get those on pretty quickly. They open up, you know, I do have to unlace it pretty good so I can get my foot in there. The tongue is not gusseted for a 6-inch boot, especially kind of a casual moving towards a dress boot. You really don't need the gussets. You guys see me out on trails and stuff. I have my pants tucked over. I don't usually cuff my pants, so I'm not really getting any debris in there. That's not the purpose of these boots. Of course, they're gonna have a Goodyear welt. They're ready for kind of inclement weather, but essentially the gusset doesn't seem to be too big of an issue. Now, the next thing we're gonna see, of course, is that famous Horween leather. I went with a natural. We're seeing the patina already. This is a company out of Chicago. It's the premier boot leather that guys have been looking for. They have a proprietary blend, a whole process. There's really good videos on the Horween company and the leather. Hopefully at some point I can make my way up there and do a factory tour. I would love to do that. I'm not finding anything wrong, particularly with the leather. I have dropped some DEF. My truck is a diesel and the DEF bottles always leak, and it didn't have any issues. I'm not seeing it stain it at all. I went ahead and rinsed it off right away. The only issue that I've had with these boots at all is right here on the side panel. It's double stitched and then a triple stitch, and right there it's actually pulling loose. So the stitching is pulling loose. You can see the holes. I'm gonna reach out to them. We'll see if they get back by the end of this video, if anything comes of that. But I haven't actually had that on a pair of boots pretty much at all across the board. I haven't had a lot of loose stitching or especially anything pulling up like that, but we'll kind of report back. The leather is phenomenal. It's already several shades darker. It's already patining, and that's just the 24 miles so far. But be sure to stick around, subscribe. I'm doing 1-year reviews, so you'll get to see how this boot changes over the time. I think I mentioned it, but in case I haven't, this is the cap toe version, and they do sell this boot without the cap toe. You guys can check into that as well. At some point coming up, I'm gonna do a cleaning video on these boots. They make it pretty quick for you. You're just gonna brush it down, hit it with some Venetian shoe cream, and then buff it out again, and you're good to go. Sometimes, occasionally, boots like this are gonna need cleaned. You can go ahead and clean them, pull all the laces, use some saddle soap or leather cleaner. Of course, there's a big debate on which one's better. If you're not sure, you can always just defer to some leather cleaner. Clean them down, let them dry 12 to 24 hours. Hit it with the Venetian shoe cream, It builds up a really nice wax, so in and of itself, it's probably good to go for the elements, but then you can hit it with some waterproofing spray like I've already done. They recommend this every 2 to 3 months of use. You know, that's casual use, so just use that as a guide. So my best understanding of the toe box is this is a partial toe cap, so they kind of skive it and stitch it together, and then there's a little bit of stiffener in there, and there's a veg tan heel stiffener, and of course the heel stay coming up is going to be more of the Chrome Excel. It doesn't have any kind of pull tab or anything like that. Getting them on and off, that's why I was telling you earlier that I go ahead and spread it open pretty far so I can pull it back and get my foot in there. It makes it more of a sleek, dressier profile. It's not having a loop that's bulging your pants out. So apparently they do limited runs of the color leathers, so be sure to check out the website. Occasionally you'll see limited edition leathers. I have a link to these boots in the description. If you click over, it's not gonna cost you any extra. It's just gonna tell them that I'm sending some business their way. I get a kickback and it helps the channel. Guys, these boots, this Horween leather is welted down to the midsole and the outsole with what's called a barber welt. Now that's a company that's a USA based company out of Massachusetts, and they've been around since 1892. So you can't see it inside there, but that's what's protecting you from the elements. So that's a really good welt company. That is one of the boasts of this boot. It's hand lasted. So there's someone pouring into this boot, giving it a lot of attention to detail. It's going to have no removable liner, but I was happy to see that you can actually see Oak Street Bootmakers, size 11.5. You got everything right there. I think that will never wear out. You'll always be able to tell quickly what size this boot is. Beyond that, you're gonna have a veg tan liner, and then you're gonna have a steel shank and a cork bed for the footbed. So of course that's gonna provide all day comfort with that cork, and it's gonna mold to your foot as your foot gets a little warm, sweaty even, and all the pressure of walking. I'm 24 miles in. I can already see the imprints, the indentations. I've been huffing and puffing in these boots, so it's already molding to my exact foot impression. So the trench boot here comes with a leather outsole or this day night. As I stated before, it's the first day night I've had. I've had the Thursday, and so far I find them very similar. In terms of traction, I've been out on trails, I've been bouncing around. We haven't hit icy conditions or anything like that. My initial thoughts with it, if you're a purist, you're gonna want the day night. I think the Thursday is very comparable. I haven't noticed anything too wild. I did have the Thursday chip on the outside, and I think that's because of the stitching, and it's so close to the edge that on a small spot there, it did chunk off. But aside from that, I don't see any big issue to belabor the outsole, other than, you know, it's doing everything it's supposed to. There's a whole plethora of information on the founding of this company, more of their values and stuff like that. I won't bog you guys down, but make sure and head over to the website and check that out, because I think they built a pretty important company here with really phenomenal products. I've been really happy so far. I'm gonna go out, put some more miles on them, get through some steps, and I'm gonna meet up with you at the end of the video and give you kind of my initial 1 month review of these boots. So here we are, just 2 more miles into the boots, guys, and everything is changing. I went out yesterday and did another hike. Really neat trail with a pretty cool bridge that you cross over. Didn't have enough time, as always, started kind of late in the day, but we got 2 miles in, and then I got an email this morning from Oak Street Bootmakers. So they reached back out right away, guys, and they already started shipping me out a new pair of boots and printed a return label for me to go ahead and send these back. So that threw me for a loop. In fact, I was kind of remorseful about emailing them at all, because I feel like these are my boots. And I'm sure you guys can relate. If you're breaking in boots, if you have good quality boots, at some point they just become yours. And so I have a bit of a connection with them, and they've already became mine. They're molded to my feet. But here's the thing, this is what I'm gonna do. So I told you already that I like to do cleaning videos on these boots. I'm gonna get the new ones. I'm gonna get them on. I'm gonna get at least 26 miles where I'm at right now, if not more, before I put out that cleaning video. It won't be a 1-year review, but it'll be right back where we are with these ones. And then I'll tell you guys how things are going. So make sure and hang back for that cleaning video. I'm an open book, friends. Ask me any questions you have about these boots. I'm ready to get into it. I'll tell you what, I can't speak highly enough about Oak Street Bootmakers. I told you in the beginning, I bought these boots myself, and an honest review, friends, run out and grab yourself some Oak Street Bootmakers. I'll have a link in the description. That's gonna do it for this one, friends. Until the next video, God bless, and hey, don't forget to give your boots some love from time to time.